Next one is a little bit more lighthearted. This is Cafe X. This is really, really cool. So this is a robotic coffee bar. So there's working versions of this in San Francisco and Dubai. It's backed by top VCs like David Sachs, Chamath and JCal, who are on the All-In pod. They're great. It's not terrible coffee as well, because it's not like from those like vending machines where you press a button, because the robot is doing it. It's like a human doing it. So it's good quality. And obviously it has the potential to completely disrupt the global barista market. You know, Starbucks, Cafe Nero, etc., could be in serious trouble. What are your thoughts on Cafe X, Graham?
Yeah, I love the idea. I think perhaps being a bit of a geek, I don't always enjoy speaking to people. I don't know, maybe I took the don't talk to strangers too seriously as a child, and that's carried on.
Sure.
So interacting with a machine that gives me a great drink, fantastic. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know if I could comment on the quality of that. So,
you can probably get tea or like some iced chas, from it.
Yeah, but I love the idea of 24/7 operate with a machine. I really enjoy ordering off an app rather than ringing someone, interacting with something like that in an airport down the street. I'd definitely use that. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. This was sent to me on Twitter. If people enjoy the show and want to send me products to mention and talk about if they are visually appealing and cool and futuristic, then tweet me. My handle's on the screen at the moment. If the Cafe X founders are listening to this as well, we'd be happy to have you on to talk about this, because this is a pretty cool innovation. What's your take, Nick, on Cafe X?
Well, I remember when I did my computer science degree, getting a robotic arm to move and how much code that took. Yeah. So I'm dreading to think what it takes to make a cup of coffee. The thing that bothered me the most was when it had the coffee in its hand, or the robotic hand, and it was shaking it, and I thought it's going to come out in a minute and it's going to spill.
It's probably coded like to perfectly keep you on edge and suspense. You're watching it just about to come out, but it never does.
Listen, I'm a developer. I was just happy to get it working. Don't worry, I wasn't going to get that far. I've got really mixed views about this, because I worked in Italy for 5 years, and I could never see this catching on in Italy.
No,
because the whole coffee culture would not allow this. The whole point of going in there and talking about moaning about the government, moaning about the football, moaning about whatever's going on is part of that ritual, and they go in at 11 o'clock.
It's a small country, though, compared to the rest of the world.
It absolutely is, but also at the back of my mind, I just thought to myself, is this not really just a glorified vending machine?
Yeah.
And that kind of was at the back of my mind as well. And I just thought, all of a sudden, you can see people taking shortcuts with it, and it not being the premium quality product that maybe it should be. I guess I would always prefer. I guess what we're trying to do is, if this comes in, then having a barista is going to be a premium product. This will very quickly go to the middle layer, and that people will be looking for human interaction to get something which is a little bit more personal.
I mean, from the emotional perspective, yes. But what if the robot barista can make coffee better than a human? Because it doesn't make mistakes, it doesn't show up late, it doesn't take annual leave, it doesn't get sick. It's just 24/7. Just here's your latte, here's your flat white, here's your iced mocha. Here's your strawberry and cream frappuccino, whatever you order. I don't know what you order.
Do you think it would react to can you make mine a bit stronger? Can we have some extra milk in that?
I don't know if it's like, I think it's probably like a screen, right? You probably
see,
probably.
Now you're into the world of McDonald's, you see, because you've got those great big touch. Yeah. I think it would be like that, but I mean, I don't know.
What about the jobs? Let's get your perspective on that, because it's good. If this takes off, right? You've got millions and millions of baristas at Starbucks that are screwed.
This is the whole thing. I think when we spoke before, we talked about automated cars.
Yeah, the self-driving cars.
Self-driving cars, and I just said, it's the same issue for me. There's a lot of people in that area that are doing this for work, and there's a lot of families that are relying on it. And that's the area that worries me, the social economic aspect. What are you going to do with these people? Because if they're not going to be baristas, then they're going to have to be paid for by the government. And then what do we do with that? We put taxes up to pay for these people. People need to be employed.
Yeah, well, they need to have meaning, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Purpose in their life. And the counter argument could be, yes, it replaces jobs for baristas, but it also creates jobs for developers, and then they'll be building the machines. But with AI, maybe developers will be replaced.
But how many developers did that create? Say it took a team of 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're putting out a lot more than 100 baristas out of work with something like that.
Correct.
I think there's a short term impact there, but I think as you look to the longer term, like maybe we don't need to train more baristas. Maybe they can move into different things. I mean, presumably, we're not still training chimney sweeps, so jobs do move on, new roles
Absolutely.
come around.
But normally, Graham, it's a generational thing.
It is, yeah.
So you've got a whole generation of people.
Not anymore. No.
You don't think so?
No, well, I mean, the way that AI and robotics are moving, it's now every year there's going to be disruptions like this. I don't think it's going to be. I think throughout history, it's always been about generations. But I'm quick now.
So I'm going to take you up on that, if you don't mind.
Cage fight.
No. I'll tell you why I think slightly differently. I think because I think it's a generational thing. I think what we forget is that we're quite privileged in what we do and what we're able to what we've done. Other people aren't maybe as privileged as what we are and aren't as able to adapt to circumstances. Look, I think all three of us here, from the discussions we've had today, have got curious minds. We're really interested in what we do and how we do it and what's going on, and we've all, looked at these subjects and all have different perspectives on it, and that's the beauty of it. There's a lot of people that don't really. It isn't their bag. It isn't what they're into, and it's those people that you need to care about, and those people that you sometimes think about as well.
Yeah,
and that's why my concern comes from.
Okay,
and I think that's why I'm saying it's a generational thing. I think for the top 25% intellectually in the country, I think they move and they adapt because they're curious and they want to adapt things and they want to move. They want to move on to new things. I think there's a lot of people that are just happy with their lot and don't want to continually learn. Just want to do what they do.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing. Like, yes, truck drivers will be replaced, and you say, "Hey, learn to code." But I mean, like, should they be learning to code? Is that the right job for them? I mean,
do they want to? Well,
exactly. Do they want to code? Yeah,
and of course, we
can't force people to.
And then you get Copilot come along, and of course, you don't need
No, you become a prompt engineer instead.
It's exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, these are the sorts of things that people need to think about. And going back to our Rishi discussion, and this is the sort of thing that I'd like the government to sort of, as part, maybe $1 million of that 100 million could be look into that sort of and have a view as to what the long term workplace looks like.
Yeah.